What's happening, people? And once again, welcome back to youtube.com/CubCamTV for this, another edition of the CubCast, our now daily news section we are running here on the channel, exploring different conversations, breakdowns, lists, and everything along those lines. And today we are getting into a list which I'm very, very excited for. As always, if you are new to the channel, do make sure you are getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right-hand side of the page. Of course, turning notifications on as well, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and all of that good stuff. I cannot thank all of you enough. We're about to hit 63,000 subscribers, a number I never thought we would hit, but it actually means we've gone up over 50,000 subscribers this year, the second we hit that point, which is absolutely crazy. It's an achievement I never thought we'd be able to do here on the channel. It's entirely down to you guys, so I just want to say thank you. And as we are exploring this today, we are going to break down, I think, a very important list, and this is a list I think that most YouTubers will be doing, regardless of the genre they work in, if they work in a sort of reaction area. We're going to be breaking down the top 10 Afrobeats tracks of 2022. Now, this is not necessarily the highest selling. This isn't necessarily the most popular overall. This is my personal top 10. So there's going to be tracks in here that I think people won't actually have even put anywhere near their top 10. But these are the top 10 tracks that I have enjoyed listening to, enjoyed breaking down, enjoyed reacting to, and enjoyed, in honest, just listening to when I've been out and about. So it's going to be a very interesting list. But again, please don't get upset if your favorites aren't in there. This is my personal list, and it's based off my kind of listening interests more than anything else. And we are going to jump into this right about now. So we're going to start off in number 10, and that comes in as Wizkid, Money and Love. Again, a very, very big tune. This one of the stronger tracks off the More Love, Less Ego album. One of the tracks that actually was used to launch the project, which in some people's eyes hasn't had the impact that it necessarily should have had. For me, I think the album is top quality, and I think Money and Love, just as a creation, is one of the tracks on there that shows that creativity and I suppose the kind of ability to show fusion within genres and different areas of Afrobeats. That's something Wizkid has always been very good at, bringing his own kind of personal twist to popular trends and popular sounds within Afrobeats as a whole, and I think this as a tune is a great example of that in motion, and that's why it comes in at number 10 on this listing. Very exciting stuff indeed, and this is in number 10, bear in mind. There are tracks in this listing that I think, I need to stress, I don't think anyone else will have them in their top 10, and that's not me trying to be trendy, it's just because these are tunes that I've naturally gravitated towards over the years. So, in at number 9, we do see Overloading, Overdose from Mavins. Again, an incredible creation, this one, featuring some of the best of the Maven All-Stars, of course, Aerostar, l.a.x, Crayon, Magix, Boy Spice is on there as well. There's a ton of people on this, and it is genuinely one of the I think strongest collaborative tunes that has been dropped this year in regards to sort of large-scale collaboration. It's one of the catchiest tunes of the year for absolutely sure, for certain. Again, the hook is one of the catchiest things I've heard this year. I absolutely love Aerostar's verse as well. Boy Spice's verse at the end is iconic as well, so it's great to see, obviously, the Maven All-Stars coming together to create a monster like this, and we do know that there is a brand new album dropping tomorrow featuring all of them. Wondermo's on there as well. I cannot wait to check out that album. You can rest assured that we're going to be breaking down a lot of the tracks off there on the channel. Then moving forward into 8th place, one of the tracks I would call a wild card, and that comes to us from the one and only Basketmouth, featuring Simi, alongside the likes of Johnny Drill and a Dr. Set on production. First of all, this album has been criminally slept on, in my honest opinion. This is one of the strongest albums in regards to sound design, in regards to futurism, in regards to fusion. Dr. Set, for me, is one of the most exciting producers to watch. You can check out our full-length interview with him on the channel. We broke down his new EP and the sort of production value behind it, but this for me is one of the strongest tracks of the year. I love how spacey it is, how kind of out there, how different it is more than anything else, and the fact that it does kind of bring this sort of crunchy element to the table is really, really cool. So do make sure you check this one out if you haven't already. I've got a funny feeling a lot of people won't have actually heard this tune, but do make sure you go and check it out. It's an absolute corker. Love and Life by Basketmouth. Do go and check it out. Now, moving into number 7 on this list. This may upset a few people, but Last for me does sit in number 7. Now, this isn't because this isn't one of the biggest tunes of the year. It clearly is. This is probably one of the highest record-breaking tunes of the year. It's done incredible streaming numbers. It's done wonders for Burner as well. It is probably the most popular track off the Love Domini album. It was for a long period of time the longest-standing top 10 on the US Afrobeats Billboard charts. However, for me, It's a tune I want to hear in a dance, but it's not necessarily a tune that I'll listen to when I'm walking around. And that maybe is because I've already heard it too many times, but it is a banger. Don't get me wrong. The drums on this are absolutely fantastic. I love the potency of a lot of the snare work. Again, Burna's vocal is fantastic. I love that sort of choral element over the hook. And it is a proper sing-along tune. Don't get me wrong. If I'm in a dance and I hear this, I am losing it. But for me, it doesn't kind of match up in regards to listenability and that re-listenability factor as the tracks that do follow it in this listing. So that's why it sits at number 7, but undoubtedly probably one of if not the most popular tracks of the year for me. We don't actually feature Rema Calm Down in this listing. Again, this listing is based on what I want to listen to, not necessarily the most popular overall. If we were to do the most popular overall, we could just look at streaming numbers, which for me isn't as fun. We probably will do that video at some point, but yeah, that's how it goes. So we're moving into number 6 now then. The sounds of a track that I've absolutely loved this year. It was a track that appeared on Fortnite's radio station. It was a track that has gained some serious movement worldwide, and that is, of course, Finesse from Feels and Buju. A huge collaboration, this one. I love the video. I love the Feels recreation version on Glitch Africa as well. Just that hook, man, that catchiness, that just overall feeling of just feel good sing-along value, and I think this is a great example of how you can turn something that is quite organic and quite kind of, I suppose, traditional in a lot of those elements with the choral elements, and you can turn it into something fresh and modern and just exciting to take in. This is a track that I've loved watching the process of and the progress of on the Afrobeats Billboard charts. It's been in and around that top 20 near enough every single week, bar one. Fantastic achievement for both Feels and Buju on that one. Obviously, Buju now going by Benson. Moving forward then, we're getting into another one that I don't think is going to be in most people's top 5s, but for me, this is a track that when it landed, I was obsessed. I'm still obsessed, and it does come to us from Aerostar, and that is Ashe, her Colours session. For me, this is one of the catchiest things of the year. I find myself walking around the house literally singing the words to this one. I love her performance on it. I love the kind of attitude she brings to the table, and I think this was a really cool addition to have added on to 19 and Dangerous, the deluxe edition. I think it was a really cool thing to kind of show these Colours sessions aren't just one-off kind of performances. No, they are songs. They should be valued at the same level as other tracks on album projects, and I think this was a great example of that sort of motion happening. I think she was the first as well out of that sort of run of international Afrobeats artists all going down. I know Boj did one, I know Victony did one, I know obviously Tiwa did one, not Tiwa did one, she did one way before, but we saw obviously Aerostar do one, we saw Oxlade's Colossa on there, and we've seen a number of them roll through after that as well. Tenny's done one quite recently as well, but in this sort of new year run of them, Aerostar was the first, and I think she set the bar very, very high. That's why that one sits in at number 5 for me. In number 4, one of the catchiest sing-alongs of the year, without a shadow of a doubt, a tune I heard in the dance last Friday, and I jumped onto the stage and was doing the dance moves for it. That's how infectious it is. It is, of course, Laba Laba. Ijo from the one and only Crayon, one of the Maven standout releases of the year. I absolutely love this one. I love how catchy it is. I love the dance routine to it as well. I love the fact there was a dance routine in play from the day the tune landed, and for me, it's just a special tune, man. It has a very kind of uplifting feel to it. The instrumental's great. It's not like a typical Afrobeats instrumental either. It's very unorthodox in its overall sound and style, and I think, to be honest with you, that's what a sound always needs to advance. You need people kind of going, you know what, let's switch up the flavor, let's switch up the rhythm, let's switch up the instrumentation, and that's exactly what this tune is, and it has the catchiest dance move of the year in there as well, so that's why this one sits at number 4 for me. Again, this is my personal listening list. This is tunes that I want to hear all over life, you know. There is a level of popularity involved, there's a level of wanting to hear it in a dance involved, of course, but these are tunes that I just want to hear, and if they come on my shuffle, I'm not skipping them, put it that way. Moving into number 3 then, undoubtedly one of the biggest remixes of the year, one of the biggest collaborations of the year, one of the tracks that I feel definitely helped push an artist to the next stage of where they are, and that is, of course, Asake alongside Burna Boy with the Sungba remix. Again, Sungba was my favourite track off the EP that Asake dropped earlier on in the year. He's gone on to release a full album, and the remix was featured on that album, and the album did absolute bits. Mr. Money with the Vibe is undoubtedly an incredible body of work, and it's an incredible debut body of work as well for Asake, who has been nothing short of outstanding, I feel, across 2022. And then when you obviously add in Burna Boy's verse, the catchiness of it, like, tell me what do you see when you look at me. People in dances around the country have been singing that, and I'm in the UK. People around the world have been singing that as the tune lands. And it's an incredibly catchy tune. The overall feel of the tune's fantastic. The original's great, and Burna Boy just takes it to a whole new level. And I think it's an absolute banger. That's why it sits in number 3 of my favourite releases this year. Now, this is where it gets very interesting interesting. The top 2, I don't think anyone else is going to have this one in their top 10, but for me, the second I heard this tune, I was obsessed, I was addicted, and I found that I could not stop listening to it. It's a tune I listen to when I'm getting ready, it's a tune I listen to when I'm on the bus going to a party, it's a tune I listen to when I'm walking home at night and I've had one too many. There is something so sleek and shiny about the way this one is structured. There's something so smoky about the backdrop and the arrangement. I want to be in a jazz bar drinking whiskey listening to this one. And it does come to us from Boj and Eni, and it goes by the name Culture. Now, if you haven't heard this tune, go and watch it. If you haven't seen the video, go and watch that as well. Outstanding tune. It's so silky smooth. It really kind of brings in a lot of kind of jazzy elements. There's some really kind of dissonant guitar lines in there as well. For me, the standout track off that Boj album, which again was criminally slept on, but for me, this is one of the tunes that I've been listening to near enough every single day ever since I heard it, to be honest with you. And I absolutely adore this tune, and there isn't really too much to say about it because I don't think people necessarily will have had the kind of appreciation for it that they should have done. It's been criminally slept on. Go and listen to this song by the time this video finishes, because you know what number one's going to be if you follow me, if you follow this channel. I think number one's pretty obvious, to be honest with you, in regards to my personal listenership, and that is, of course, the one and only Oxlade with Closer, a sensation of a tune, a absolute viral phenomenon. This has got the sped up version going crazy and the normal version going crazy as well. It's a track that's had a visualizer, a lyric video, a color session, and then another music video to follow as well. It is undoubtedly one of the most viral sensations of this year in music globally. It's a track that has really put Oxlade on the map and has allowed him to excel to that next level. He has been able to perform it with some of the biggest artists around the world. I'm pretty sure he performed it with Usher. I know Wiz has brought him out, I think, a couple of times as well. And it is one of the catchiest tunes of the year. You could finger this on anywhere and people will like it. So that's pretty much why it is number one for me. It's a tune that I've played at parties. It's a tune that I've played just when I'm at home. It's a tune that I play near enough every day just because it puts me in a good mood. And that for me is like the basic thing that a banger needs to do. So there we go. That is my top 10. My favourite releases of this year within the Afrobeats genre and sound, and I am very, very keen to see what all of you guys think. Do let me know in the comments section down below what your top 10s are. Feel free to tweet me your top 10s as well at CubKXVU on the socials. As I said, we are trying to push the channel up to as many subscribers as we can before the end of the year, so if you are new, do make sure you are getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right hand side of the page. Of course, turning notifications on as well, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and all of that good stuff, and we shall see you all next time. Have a fantastic rest of your Thursday, and peace.
Sounding so good right now, but they're sounding a bright and
Yes, it's Kovu. Stay locked. CubCast TV.
Your boy Slim Forfeit right here, and you're locked on to the best breakfast with man like Cole.
Yo, this is Aaron Glitch, and you're tuning to the sounds of Kovu right now. You already know the thing. Bad boy selector. Alright, let's go.